everyone, welcome back to Messy Vegan Baker. I'm Christina, and today we are going to make something that I made during the Christmas season. It was one cookie that didn't quite turn out, so we're gonna try it again. Also, I learned a really cool trick a few days ago on how to make caramel, so I'm gonna show you guys that too. So in case you're wondering what we're making, we're going to be making Biscotti. That's exciting. Last time I tried to make pumpkin biscotti, tasted amazing, but didn't quite bake all the way through. So I figured we'll go back to the basics and just make a regular biscotti. Drizzle some caramel on it and yeah, figure out, I don't know. Figured if I bake it, hopefully it'll turn out. And then I can work on making another pumpkin one that is 100% biscotti, you know? So that's what we're gonna do today. Now, I have the oven at 375, it is preheating, and then I have my flaxseed eggs, not quite gelatinous, which makes me a little nervous, but I also decided to go a little rogue and put them in almond milk instead of water, so, I mean, it's worked before, so it should be okay. I think I just need to mix it more, maybe. Anywho, and then I have the flour, salt, and baking powder, and then I'm gonna add a little bit of cinnamon and nutmeg, because we can't be too basic, right? And then we have sugar and vegan butter in here. And we're gonna add some vanilla, and that's basically it. Biscotti is really simple, and it's easy to travel with, and it's nice for events and stuff, especially if you wanna make fancy ones, because you can do a lot of fancy flavors. Also, if you're new here, welcome, hello. Hit that subscribe button and that like button if you want to see more videos like this, which they're all like this because I always bake, but anywho. All right, let's get baking. So we're gonna start off like we always do with cookies, where we cream the butter and sugar, and we're gonna do that until it is getting light and fluffy and it looks like one mixture. All right, I'm gonna say that's pretty good. Also, look at this tiny little baby whisk. Isn't it so cute? So that looks pretty good. So now we're gonna add the eggs in, which I gave it a little second whisk. It seems good. It's the texture we want. So it says add it in one at a time, but I'm just gonna add it all in. So guess what? My mic died again. Well, it didn't die. I'm having issues. But anywho, I'm just gonna do a voiceover. So we added the eggs in. Fun fact, this is called emulsifying or emulsification, which is forcing the fats to socialize with things not itself. So you're just gonna mix that in. I like to make sure everything's nice and mixed. And then I added basically 2 teaspoons of vanilla because I didn't have almond extract. So you can do 1 teaspoon of vanilla and 1 teaspoon of almond extract if you want, but I didn't have it, so I didn't. And then I added all the dry ingredients after the wet ones were nice and mixed. Mixed that really well. Don't forget to scrape the sides, because especially if you're in a stand mixer. And then after a while, it was still a little dry, and I think it's because I added a teaspoon of cinnamon and a teaspoon of nutmeg. So what I ended up doing was just adding 2 tablespoons of water, and I ended up hand mixing it so I could get all the crumbs on the bottom, and that seemed to make the perfect consistency. So if you do decide to add extra spices, just keep that in mind. But you'll know if you need to add liquid to the mixture once it starts mixing. So flour your workspace, or lightly flour your workspace, and then dump the dough out. And then you're going to cut it in half as evenly as you can, and then you're going to shape them. So I did 1 inch thick, or tall I guess, 6 inches long, and 2 inches wide. Yep, that's basically it. Just shape them until they're about that way, and then grease your pans. You can flour them. I haven't had the best of luck with that, but if you've done it and you have no issues, then go for it. But we're gonna stick those in the oven. That's 375 degrees for about 25 minutes. I did 10 minutes, flipped them 10 minutes, and then I think mine were done, but I'm also high altitude. After that, you're gonna put them on a cooling rack to cool. Okay, so they baked for about 20 minutes. They look gorgeous and golden. They have these really nice cracks in them, which is what we want. So I am now, And once you do that, lower your temperature to 250. And I don't have a serrated knife, but I have a very sharp knife, so hopefully this will work. Now you want about 1/2 inch, and then you cut at a diagonal, like so. Ooh, they're a little crunchy on the bottom, but they look pretty good. They're not falling apart as much as the Christmas ones were, so score for that. These, as you can see, I said that really weirdly. These, as you can see, still have that same issue that the Christmas ones had, where they're really doughy in the middle. So I wonder if I actually need to bake these a little bit more, but I think we'll be okay. Yeah, we'll just make sure we bake them a little longer. Baking is a science, what can I say? Here, I'm gonna try a crumb. Ah. Well, they have a nice flavor to them. Okay, so the cookies are still in the oven. I reduced the temperature to 200 because I'm still getting that issue where it's gooey in the middle. So what I was going to say is now we're going to make the caramel while they're cooking, which isn't the smartest thing probably, but I got impatient. So for this you need some lemon juice, you don't need a ton, 1/4 cup of water, a cup of sugar, 4 tablespoons of butter, and 2 tablespoons of coconut cream. That should have been in the fridge, so you just get the cream part and not the liquid part. Put a cup of sugar and about 1/4 cup of water. The water is optional. And you put it in a pan on medium heat, and you just stir it and wait until it dissolves. You'll notice because it will start to get very clear. And also grab a brush or one of those red things that are kind of brushes but plastic. And then take water and constantly just brush it on the sides. So that way you don't have sugar crystals, because you do not want those. That will ruin your entire caramel, and that is not what you want. So be patient, stir it until it starts to boil. It should become clear, and then it'll start to boil. And then something that I like to do is once it starts to boil, put a lid on top for about 2 minutes, because the steam should help get all the sugar crystals off of the sides, and it'll just make your life easier. Or you can keep brushing it down, which I did both, but yeah, just a few extra tips there for you guys. So once you take the lid off, if you decide to do that and the time is up, you're going to notice it's still boiling, and you do not touch it at this point. Again, make sure you keep cleaning the sides off so you don't have any sugar crystals. But other than that, don't mix it. Just let it boil and it do its thing. And you will know when it's ready when the color of it starts to turn a dark amber. You'll also be able to smell a sweet, kind of bitter smell. So this is the color you want. You can tell I'm debating. So I pulled it off the heat, which you need to do. I put in a pinch of salt, and as quickly as you can, put in the butter and the cream, or at least a little bit. And it is going to foam and look crazy when you first mix it, but just keep going. It'll calm down, and suddenly you'll have this gorgeous caramel color. But just give it time, be patient, and just stir it all in, and your patience will be rewarded. So I let the caramel cool for a little bit. You can let it cool a little more and let it be thicker, and you might not have as much runoff as I did, but they still turned out really well. They each got a lot of caramel on them, and that's what really matters, honestly. So after you dip them and make sure every side is full or has enough caramel on them, make sure you put them on piece of wax paper so that way they don't stick. They peel off very easily when they're on there, and then stick them in the fridge for about 10 minutes to let them set. And then voila, you have a delicious cookie that you can bring to parties or have for coffee or eat for fun. Your options are pretty endless, which is the best part about cookies. They are beautiful and delicious, and I highly recommend that you guys make them. They're not that hard to make either. Thank you so much for watching, you guys. I'm sorry this video is kind of a train wreck, but I promise I'll get that figured out. I will also link the recipe down below, as well as the YouTube video I used to make caramel. And as always, I hope you guys were entertained and or learned something, because I know I did, which was exciting. And stay safe, stay healthy, and I will see you guys next week. Bye!